Welcome to the Feel Better, Be Better show. Today, Kait and Nevada will answer your questions and introduce new topics designed to help feel better and be better. These are raw conversations, but they will make a difference.
Hey everyone, welcome to KNeticx. Today we had a really great show. Went over a lot of, I think the best one to say on this one is why sports?
Why sports?
Everybody, all the things we were doing, nobody knew we were pulling in all this sports stuff, and now we're just like, sports.
Yeah.
And almost like it's taking over.
Sports in KNeticx, the store, and now they're together.
Mm-hmm. Wow. We need to come up with a new name then. KNeticx Sports. No?
No.
Worth a shot.
Maybe somebody else has a better name that they can put in the comments.
We go into nutrition. Thanks. We go into nutrition. We go into mentality. Sleep. Yeah, we cover a lot of interesting things with sports.
Things you can learn from the world of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the things.
Hope you enjoy it. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So seriously, I had a great conversation today with this guy who came in. He was asking me, he came in for the meat, came in for all the healthy products, all the meal preps, all the other crazy stuff that we had or whatever. But I think the one that really messed him up was he came in because of our sports stuff. So, he came in with one of his kids we coach on one of the teams that we do, and it was just, he kept asking me more and more questions, like, well, why in the world do we do, grass-fed meat? Why in the world do we do all-natural honey? All the different things that we do, the local products and all that kind of stuff. He was super impressed with all the sports stuff that we do. Mm-hmm. But kind of made me laugh because I was like, we really haven't discussed the fact that me and you just assume that you just go through life with sports. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was wondering what your side on that was. Just because, if I'm going to tell people, much as I like lying for you, maybe I should actually tell the truth. Maybe I can hear what your big thought on it was. We never really discussed it that heavy.
Which part of the sports?
Sure, I don't care. Go. Where do you want to go?
Oh, man, I don't know.
How about this? Hold on. Yes.
I hate that.
Oh, I know. There you go.
So basically, you're going to let me talk for an hour about all the things.
All sports, yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
you can get into one path. We'll go into a tangent, and then a tangent, and then a tangent, and then we'll come back.
Maybe come across this way.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Well, first off, it is very interesting for a lot of parents who do ask about stuff like this because it's been very much sports and then the healthy stuff we've got on the side, and we've now kind of brought them together, and it's brought a lot of questions. Like you said, I've talked to parents too that have had questions about different aspects of it. And I think for me, as growing up as an athlete, you're not really taught to eat well, and that sleep's important, and that, you should reduce your stress. And that's more of a thing now that people are starting to get into a little bit.
Well, it's always weird. It's always, reduce your stress. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that. Now my stress is reduced.
You shouldn't be stressed.
Yes, just stop being stressed. Or you need to sleep better. Oh, really? Would have never thought of that. Thank you for the tip, Or you need to eat healthier. Okay, well, I'm going to go do whatever, which is completely not healthy. How many times have we been told eggs are bad, eggs are good, eggs are bad, eggs are good? It gets kind of really crazy after a while.
Well, and you're just talking from an adult aspect. When you're a kid, nobody really tells you that much. They are a little bit more now. But as a kid,
pizza rolls are not healthy?
I know, it's crazy, huh? Hot Pockets, out the window.
What? What do I eat now?
But, as a kid, you're invincible. You can go eat Taco Bell before practice, and it doesn't bother you. It's a whole different world.
In between practice, I used to eat it in between 2 days.
Oh my gosh, can't even imagine. But, there'd be so many softball tournaments that we would go eat fast food in between games and stuff, and you didn't even think about how that fueled your body and because you were just a kid, you had energy, and you didn't think about it affecting you like that. As an adult, you can feel it.
Well, think of it just nowadays. We still do it. Like, hey, after the game, let's go get pizza and ice cream.
Yeah. So I guess for me, diving more into the world of health, it's like, no, I feel so much better from eating this, and I can exercise better. That has to affect athletes. We know it does. How do you relay that and set up an environment where that all kind of buys in?
Well,
fits together.
Look at the two prominent ones we have right now that are just setting huge longevity and lifetime records and everything like that in LeBron James and Tom Brady. Both of them guys are notoriously known for basically prioritizing sleep and diet.
Yeah.
And yet we just act like they're kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or special.
Yeah.
But yet for some reason it's really working for those guys. They very much prioritize that. And for the rest of the community, the rest of the athletic community, we just kind of act like it's like, yeah, get your carbs and proteins or whatever, and you'll be fine. But it's, again, like we talked about before, I mean, your body's only made up of whatever you put in your mouth. I mean, so if you start focusing in on your diet, you start focusing in on your sleep and your regenerative and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be a better athlete. That kind of makes sense of why we would have all this stuff for athletes. But I think the crazy part about it is me and you, we kind of almost look at it the other way around.
Sure.
Because right now we're talking about the nutritional side, but maybe I'm putting us into a tangent of more of the mental side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes together. It does. I mean, if you're not able to mentally focus and visualize and hone in on what you want and how you want things to be, as well as everything else, being rested and being fueled and all that, how are you supposed to be the best version of an athlete that you can be?
Well, I come back. I mean, I think we look back at like the Miracle Morning scenario where, I mean, if that is your goal, I want to be the premium athlete, that is your vision, that is your whatever else thing that they have in there, where you're trying to get those type things. What I'm working at is trying to be one of the best athletes. Then you kind of have to look into the nutritional side, the resting side, the developmental side, and everything like that. So, I mean, to me, it kind of gives kids purpose. And I'd say, kids, I'm a kid. I mean, I know I'm in like this old man body and everything, but I'm still a kid at heart. So, I mean, I would like to keep my young exuberance as long as I can. So for me, whatever I can do to make myself, if I can try to challenge myself in a different way of trying to be more athletic or be more in fit or whatever, that gives me more of a purpose to go after. So then I'm looking at my diet, I'm looking at my sleep, I'm looking at all those things to try to maximize this old body to keep in shape.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring it up that way too, because I mean, we really pictured this as being not just the kid on the team, but really a family buy-in aspect of it, because, parents are the ones that are going to get groceries, and they're the best teachers by showing their kids what they need to do to be healthy and be the best that they can be. A lot of us were athletes in one respect or another.
Everybody was.
And so, I mean, you don't lose that mentality.
Well, we've talked about this too. I mean, I love when people are like, well, I'm just not athletic, I don't believe in sports or whatever. And I'm like, no. You're doing athleticism somewhere. Athleticism of the brain, if you're competing in the smart games, I don't know, I'm not involved in them. Like
chess or
sure,
video games or
okay,
whatever.
Yes, go for it. Yes, all of those. Yes, it's just you're doing a different kind of competitive behavior. There's just a lot more. There's definitely a lot of benefits to being competitive in a physical behavior, doing something, basketball or baseball or soccer or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever your athletic endeavor is, maybe it's just running, whatever, I don't care. But you're getting so much more of the other benefits and how they all key off of each other. I mean, like, we do know that, I mean, I think my best one is that we exercise to lose weight. Well, we know that exercise itself doesn't lose weight. Kind of weird to think of that, but they did studies. It's actually how you sleep.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, no kidding. It's actually how you sleep determines your weight. I mean, if you're well rested and you're mentally together and you're not tired, you're not going to be craving the carbs and the bad foods or whatever else that might be bad for your system to be able to operate.
Well, and your body
fully functional.
Gets a chance to regenerate and fix everything in it. That's what sleep is for.
Yep.
If you don't do that, how are you ever going to gain any positives from exercise?
Well, it's funny, as a society, it's like we keep trying to cut out sleep, work later, get up earlier, do all this stuff. But I mean, we're kind of designed to be physically shut down for a third of our lives. And we act like it's just like, I got to sleep. Well, I mean, can you flip that mindset, being more of like, oh, I get to get a good night's sleep tonight. And what do I got to do to get a good night's sleep? Do I need to get blue blocking glasses? Do I need to do my, bedtime ritual or whatever it is I need to do. Do I need a journal before that? Get my mind clear, whatever it is.
Yep.
And then you can lose weight. But the funny part about the exercise, back where I was talking about where people exercise to lose weight, well, typically what exercise does is it makes you tired because your body needs to regenerate. So you sleep better, so you lose weight. So it's funny. Exercise does lose weight. It's just not the main reason for it.
And it also, releases a lot of endorphins and reduces your stress level, and reduced stress level equals better sleep. And I mean, we know it all ties back to that.
Yeah. But anyway, so I mean, that's all kind of the healthy stuff on sleep stuff. But we're talking more like sports here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like programs. I mean, like we're gonna go be like the best team in the country.
That's not the plan.
Travel all the way around.
That's not the plan.
Be awesome.
I mean, we're going to be awesome.
Yeah. How about, can we dominate the rec league?
No.
We already did that, though.
Yeah. No. I mean, you and I both have had this talk a lot of times, and literally just had a parent meeting this week where laid it out as like, listen, we're in this to challenge players to get better. And a lot of that has to do with putting them in an environment that they're going to fail. Not be overwhelmed with failure and get their butts kicked all the time, but to fail. So that means you don't stay at rec when you're beating all the teams down there. And you have to find a level that will keep you moving forward and keep you competitive. Now, does that mean that we're going to have the all-star team that travels around the country? No, that's not really our vibe. And will I sacrifice putting a girl in a situation where she may or may not come out with a win and like either some self-esteem or not being able to win that battle and having to go back and work just because I want to win a situation or a game? No, because that doesn't teach them anything. I'm sorry, that's far more detrimental in the long run than saying, oh, we had an undefeated season and we got first place because I made sure my 4 top players were in the best positions and only let them do the things that really mattered.
Or even better, you won 12 games and you basically had 12 different teams every single time because you just brought in whoever all-star could win that week.
Yeah, or I found the best pitcher so nobody could hit her, so my rest of my team, even they couldn't hit worth crap or could field okay, they didn't really have to do anything. We relied all on the one girl. Like, that's cool. That's great if you have a great pitcher, but like, we're trying to develop everybody to get better where they're at. Does that mean like you rotate them through and let them play let a girl play a position she's not ready for? No.
Well, I heard an interesting quote this week or whatever that they were talking about raising teenagers as like a constant battle of tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
That you are hoping and prepping that you lose as a parent because you're just like, no, I got to pull you back. No, you're not doing that. I'm pulling you back. And I kept thinking of it like a coach. That's my whole job is like, oh, you think you're too good? Okay, I got to pull you back. I got to give you another challenge. You're constantly like keeping that carrot just out of reach. But at the same side, you got to pull it back and let him get there a little bit and be confident. But as soon as they start getting too confident, you got to pull them back.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've talked about this plenty of times that if there is a kid that we are around that is good enough to go on and do the travel teams and go all across the country all the time, playing all different games, I'm more than happy to move on and even, try to encourage them. But we are not doing that.
No. I have far more of a passion and drive and fulfillment from helping players that want to just come out and get better. And usually the ones that are ready to go traveling all over the place, like, yeah, you need to tweak them and they need to get better, but that's not where the major changes and all the great stuff you see happen,
Well, like we talked about, it's that challenge. We don't talk. We spent this entire time with our kids just making sure they succeeded, building their self-esteem, making sure everything works out so they have the best grades, the best whatever, on and on and on. But really, what's ever challenged anybody is being able to just have those challenges, those failures, those things that we have to go. So, we do a lot of baseball, softball, which is a game of defeat. It's a game that you could beat. The best people are really not good at it. Nobody would say that you're really good at being a 300 hitter. 700% of the time, or 70% of the time, you fail. So it's a very tough game of basically learning how to handle adversity, persevering through, and that to me is a constant microcosm of life. I mean, me and you've been around a ton of people that have always, I mean, had that story of how everything's against them. But I don't know a single person when you dive into their story that wouldn't kind of have like a lot of setbacks, a lot of roadblocks, because it's just tough. There's always something else, something that is going to be an obstacle that they got to get around, or something that's going to set them back, or anything like that. To me, sports as a younger person is preparing you for life in that regard.
Yeah.
That it's going to be tough. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to go a different direction. You have to try a different thing. You're going to have to switch something up and change things. This worked when I was 11. Now I got to change and do the opposite to when I'm 12 to make something work out. And that is one of the biggest lessons I see missing as we continue to eliminate sports in the youth, in the younger ages.
Yeah. Or it's very much like, yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, you either have the ultra competitive teams that want to just go beat everybody and do anything to win, to where they're not even trying to learn from failure, or you have the rec teams that don't even try because winning and losing doesn't matter at all. And so you're completely taking that message out.
Well, I mean, a lot of those, they're not even keeping score. I mean, all the kids and all the parents know what the score is, but I mean, they're trying to say it's not, there's no score.
Yeah.
I don't remember not ever keeping score when I was a kid on anything. I mean, we were always keeping score. We didn't always win, but I mean, the ones that win all the time too, I kind of have like a deep issue with the teams that are just amazing, but they put them together. There's no camaraderie. I mean, half the players can't even tell you the other person's last names, and I mean, it's just we're just put together to go win this. It's like, well, great, that's awesome for you. No, but anyway. It's just one of those things where it's like, why would you? Where's the success in that? Where's the build in that? I mean, you could say that the player got it and all that stuff, but what did the player learn? That they just need to find another better person? I mean, that's how we are treating everybody in society now. Well, I mean, I want to be able to develop people. I want to be able to work with people. I want to be able to say, hey, you're not good at this. I'm good at this. Let's do this or whatever. And hey, we need to work on this or that. And that's why, for me, I really like sports wrapped around all the other health stuff that we do.
Well, that's the best teams I ever played on, was the teams that really got along well and had the players that did different things. I mean, I was little and fast, and I played the outfield or a little bit of middle infield, but I was never going to be the first baseman who's going to be the power hitter or whatever, you know? I mean, you had different roles on the team, and the best teams I played on, we all recognized each other's roles and picked each other up and complimented each other.
Mm-hmm. That's the idea of a team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the only way you develop, teams is in some where you're going against some kind of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
A group adversity type scenario. Otherwise, I mean, if it's just all easy, you just show up and win and you go home.
Yeah. And as much as that sounds like it's fun, it's really not that fun. Because you don't ever learn anything. I mean, there's something about those tough games, too, where you pull the win out or you just barely lose. Like,
just barely lose. That's like the story of my life.
There's so much you learn from those situations. Getting blown out of the water sucks. I mean, there's a lot you can learn from it, but there's also a lot of discouragement. But those ones, the tight games where you don't know where it's going to go, and sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't, like, those were the ones that were the toughest, but learn the most lessons and learn to, like, come back and work harder, or what you needed to figure out, and, like, how could we do it better next time?
Yeah. So I'm going to pull it all the way back then.
Okay.
All the stuff that we're doing. So, in all the athletic stuff, kind of goes right back around in your nutrition and your sleep and all the stuff that we brought up before. Everybody's going to have a different issue. You have this problem with sleep. You have this problem with your diet. You have this problem with whatever you're doing with nutrition. So, what we've learned from athletics is, let's mix it up. Let's try it again. I mean, some of the crazy stuff we've done in sports has just taught us that, I don't know, try something different. What's the worst thing that could happen? You can always go back to what you were doing.
Yeah. I love it because it's like a puzzle. It's like, what do I need to do to figure out how to make this work? Do I need to say it different? Do we need to find a different solution? Do we need to, like, look at a different area and focus on it? It's like a puzzle. So then when it finally does come together, you're like, oh, yeah, we figured the puzzle out for you. It's different for every player.
Man, I don't think I've ever finished a puzzle. That would explain a lot. Yeah. All right, you got anything else on why sports?
Because I love them.
Yeah, the funny part about it is with me and you, though, is most people don't really realize that we just love playing.
I
We
know.
don't really love winning. I love being successful, but I mean, I told other people this, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, I hope you beat me, but I'm going to make it as hard on you as possible. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you don't win, but I hope you win, because it's hard to win without seeming like a prick. I mean, it really is.
Well, I mean, the other thing, too, how many times have we stayed after practice and just hit ourselves because we enjoy hitting and then throwing and fielding and because we want to do it, and it has nothing to do with going to play. We still play slow pitch and stuff like that, but...
No, I dominate slow pitch.
Okay, sure. You can dominate slow pitch, and it's all because of the practice we put in. That's the only reason you do it, not because we enjoy it at all.
Yes, I've gotten on so many elite teams that I dominate.
No, but I mean, we spend a lot of time still just like hitting into the net because we like to hit.
I've said forever, I'd rather almost go to the cages and go to the ball fields. And people just look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I just like hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
definitely don't like throwing. If anybody's ever seen me throw, they know I don't like throwing. It hurts a lot. So,
extenuating circumstances there.
yeah, mold. All right, well, I think that'll wrap it up then, unless you got anything else.
Don't think so.
All right, well, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching Kait and Nevada. Hope you've enjoyed this show and found it useful and empowering. If you have any questions or comments, please contact them at KNeticx.com. That's KNeticx.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And please write a review of the show. Kait and Nevada appreciate hearing the feedback, and they welcome your reviews, and your word of mouth will help others learn how to feel better and be better.